So if you're doing the downsizing, or what we like to call right sizing, because there's a lot of people in the situation right now where they have 3,000 square feet and they still want 3,000 square feet, but they just want it in a different place, right? A different layout. Or even from 4,000 down to 2,500 or 3,000 square feet. There's a lot of people that have these large suburban homes that no longer fits their life. They're people that have been in the house 10, 15, 20 years. Their kids are gone. Is it nice to have the space when the kids or the grandkids come back to visit or other family comes to visit? Absolutely. But do they hate doing stairs every day to go up and down to the primary suite? Absolutely. Do they want to take care of a half an acre or a quarter acre yard that they really don't use that often? Probably not. How they spend their time has changed, and they don't want to spend their time cleaning and maintaining stuff anymore. They've been doing it for 20 or 30 years. We don't have to move. We really like our house, but it's probably time. We've realized that this is going to happen. But here's the things that are really important to us and how we're using the property. And a lot of it comes down to storage. And I know this is a weird thing, but a lot of people in that stage of life that have had so much space are having a hard time going from 4,000 square feet to 1,300 or 1,500 because it just feels so small. And especially a lot of times they want newer homes because they've had an older home. They went through a remodel 15, 20 years ago or something like that. It was a big ordeal. They're glad they did it, but they really don't want to do it again. And they just want to buy something done. A lot of times I'm showing them new build homes, and we'd really like to cut back on the cost so we're not so strung out. We can save a little bit money on the house. We don't need that much house. But then they look at it and it feels small. We look at a couple more. It still feels really small. Okay, so you're not looking at downsizing. You're looking at right sizing. And you're just trying to adjust the space that you need. Maybe you're losing a little bit of square feet, but you're not cutting it in half, right? And a lot of times it's because they have so much stuff. If you think about it, if you've been in the same house 20 or 30 years, you've accumulated a lot of things most likely. And so the moving process is what forces people to go through and evaluate, do I need this anymore? Is it serving me in my current season of life? You know, shout out to Dawn, the minimal mom. But even then, there's still a lot of stuff that people are like, you know what? I want to be comfortable. I don't want to feel like I'm constricted. And because they're not financially in the situation where they need to do that, it's this hard balance. And so a lot of times I'm asking, okay, what are the spaces in your home that you are using frequently, at least every week, if not 2-3 times a week or every day, right? Okay, obviously kitchen, living room, bedroom. Cool. What are you doing with the garage? If you're not wanting to take care of a yard, if you're not wanting to spend an hour every weekend mowing and weeding and edging the lawn or whatever, but you don't want to pay somebody else to do it, and you just want to be able to travel or walk outside and have a coffee on your patio and then go do what you want, is a townhome or a patio home or something where the HOA takes care of a lot of those amenities and there's not a lot of outdoor space to take care of. So that's the appointment I have here in a few minutes at this community I'm looking at, is a client that says, hey, I travel for work all the time. And he's not even right sizing. He's just, I travel for work all the time and I don't want to have more to take. I don't want to shovel snow. I don't want to mow grass. I don't want to worry about stuff when I'm not there. So I'm like, okay, we're selling your single family home, and he's relocating for work anyway. So they're selling that and then finding a townhome or patio home, or we've even looked at single family homes. They're dedicated structures. You're not sharing walls with anybody, and they have their own fenced in little patio, but then there's still open space that the HOA takes care of. Do you pay for that? Yes. But a lot of times people are in that stage of life where they are buying back their time and they are evaluating what their money is worth for what their priorities and how they want to spend their time. So really that's the first question I ask is, how are you spending your time in the space that you have right now? So are you hosting parties? Do you need a space to do that? Do you want to have a space for when family comes to visit? Okay, how often do they do that? And let's evaluate how much that is worth to you. And maybe just having it in a finished basement or having that on the second floor and having your primary suite on the main. So it's not these rooms that you're walking by all the time that you're feeling guilty about not using. Or maybe you're doing some duplicate space. If we can put a Murphy bed or futon or guest bed or something in the corner, but still have it as an office space, a craft space, a whatever else, a secondary. So you're still using that space all the time. So that's a lot of the question I'm asking is, how are you using that space and what do you really need? And then the second is a lot of times the conversation of, do you really need all the stuff? And a lot of times I'll refer an organizer or a downsizer to come in and help them through that process, because I'm not a therapist. I cannot help with those things. And a lot of those are emotional decisions. Sometimes clients I have that call me, they're ready. They're like, nah, we've already sold half the stuff. We got another 30% of it allotted to sell and get rid of in the move. And we're only keeping this, and that's what we're good with. But we don't want to feel constricted. We still want to have space for certain things. And a lot of times that comes down to having some finished basement space or a basement space just for storage, right? To store the things that they want to keep that they haven't quite decided what to do with yet. Or maybe they're keeping them for family members because they don't know if their family members will want them, but they don't want to get rid of them prematurely. And then garage space. Like I said, it came down to storage in the beginning, right? Garage space, I am finding, especially on newer build homes that a lot of my right sizers are looking at. These newer build homes, the standard garage size is tight, guys. I'm talking like 19 wide by 21 long. Okay, if you got 2 Toyota Camrys or like Honda Accords or Prius or something, great. Even with those, where are you gonna put your trash cans? There's not a lot of room in these garages. A lot of builders are offering a little bit of extended space on the sides. One of the builders that I was looking at, these ranch homes with a finished basement so people can age in place and not have to worry about stairs and still have the room that they need, had the option to add a 3rd car garage, which is really valuable for a lot of people. 3-car tandem, if you see tandem garage, it means it's a 2-car door with a 3rd bay behind it, depth-wise. And so for some people, that's all they need. It's not that they need room to drive a 3rd vehicle in and out, or a boat or an RV or a camper or whatever. And if you do, fine, get the 3rd bay. But that tandem space gives them I want to have a little bit of workshop space, or I want to have a little bit of just a workbench and places that I can go fix things and tinker with things, or I want to have a space that I can store my kayak and my outdoor gear or whatever. Especially being in Colorado, a lot of people have like ski gear and mountain bikes and things like that. It gives them that hobby space and that storage space without having this massive McMansion or mini mansion that has 4 or 5 bedrooms upstairs that they don't need. I think the ranch on the main floor with a finished basement space, an extra bedroom and bathroom down there when people come to visit, you have the guest space and the privacy. You can duplicate that space for crafts or whatever. Usually you have another 1 or 2 ancillary bedrooms on the main floor for home office, for guest, whatever. And then adding a little bit of extra room in the garage. And it seems to fit a lot of people's needs. And so there's definitely some new build homes that check that box. There's a lot of suburban development homes and South Metro homes in the neighborhoods that I work really often that have that kind of layout. And the main floor primary suites are going to fetch a premium, but they're really fitting the needs for a lot of people right now. So I know that's a bit of a long explanation, but if you are in that situation and you're not quite sure how to use your space or what you need, because a lot of people come to me, they're like, I would do a 2-story, I think. And I'm like, but no offense, you're 65 and you want to be in this home for 20 years. We need a main floor bedroom and a main floor bathroom. Let's look at this realistically. Do you want to move again? Because if not, and your plan is to age in place, then we need to evaluate those things and really prioritize them. Because don't get me wrong, I'd love you to call me again in 5 or 6 years to sell and buy another home, but that's not a good use of your money. Let's make better use of your money and just try to make the one move and make it fit for a longer term situation. If you're looking to make this kind of move, especially in the South Metro Denver area, feel free, hit me up. I've got a link down below. You can pick a time right off my calendar. We can sit and do a consult and see what makes sense for you. If you need an agent in another area because you're looking to make this move and you're somewhere else, please reach out to me. I can refer you to other agents in other areas. They can certainly help you with this, that oftentimes specialize in downsizing or right sizing or senior needs, because they are very specific needs. And having experience and having an understanding of those needs can really help those clients in that stage of life find a better level of happiness and a better fit for how they're using their space. If it was helpful or you got a nugget out of this, please hit the like button. I'd appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of me talking. And thanks so much for the time and have a great day.